How do lease violations become grounds for tenant eviction? Have you ever wondered how lease violations can lead to tenant eviction? It's a topic that many landlords and tenants should understand. Let's break it down in simple terms. A lease is a legally binding agreement between a landlord and a tenant. When a tenant does not follow the terms outlined in this contract, it can lead to eviction. However, eviction is not an immediate process. There are steps that must be followed to ensure fairness and legality. First, the landlord needs to identify a lease violation. Common issues include not paying rent, having unauthorized pets, or causing damage to the property. Nuisance behavior that disturbs other tenants can also be a reason for eviction. The seriousness and frequency of these violations play a big role. Minor issues might not justify eviction, while repeated or serious violations often do. Next, the landlord typically must provide written notice to the tenant. This notice outlines the violation and gives the tenant a chance to fix the problem. Usually, tenants are given a specific time frame, often around 10 days, to correct the issue. This step is important because it allows tenants the opportunity to address their behavior before any eviction actions begin. If the tenant does not resolve the violation within the notice period, the landlord can then move forward with legal eviction actions. In court, the landlord must prove that the tenant violated the lease terms and failed to correct the issue after receiving proper notice. The court will also consider if the landlord's rules are reasonable and if the tenant agreed to them in writing. Some lease violations, like not paying rent or causing significant damage, are more straightforward grounds for eviction. Other violations may require more documentation and evidence. This can include records of warnings and communications with the tenant to show a pattern of behavior that justifies eviction. From a practical urban property management perspective, it is essential to have clear and reasonable lease terms. Consistently documenting all tenant communications and violations is also crucial. This documentation can support eviction cases if needed and help resolve disputes before they escalate. Providing tenants with clear warnings and chances to correct violations can often prevent eviction and maintain good tenant relations. In summary, lease violations become grounds for eviction when a tenant breaches the lease contract, receives proper written notice to fix the violation, and fails to do so. Understanding these steps is vital for both landlords and tenants to navigate the eviction process fairly.